Tonight we meet a singer, dancer and choreographer to the stars. Hi everyone, welcome to GayTalk tonight. My guest is Stefano Olivieri. He is a dancer who won New Zealand's heart on Dancing with the Stars. Stefano Olivieri is an Australian singer, actor and dancer who's graced the stages of Broadway and the West End. He's well known down under after appearing in both the Australian and New Zealand versions of Dancing with the Stars. Stefano, welcome to the program. Great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Now, you've been dancing for many, many years. In fact, you began when you were 10, really.
I began, probably just a little bit before I was 10, so it's a very long time for me now, and I always knew that I would, it would be a lifelong dream for me to have a studio and a life as, in dancing. From the minute I started, I knew.
You were in Dancing in the Stars, both in Australia and in New Zealand. Yep. It must have been an incredible experience.
Dance with the Stars has been the best thing that has ever happened to me, apart from my husband, I must say. And it gave me an opportunity to do something for the world that I had done all my life and get recognition for it. And it's a real feather in the cap. And although it may not may not bring you much extra work or extra business or but it was just a real feel-good opportunity to be a part of, and New Zealand embraced me and took me in as their own, and treated me like family, and that's why I gave so much. It was easy to give, and the partners I had, I was blessed. I was just really blessed with who I got.
And of course your New Zealand partners were Geraldine Brophy and Suzanne Paul, both larger than life kind of characters.
Absolutely, and so I started in 2007 with Suzanne Paul. When I first met her, I didn't know her from I didn't know anybody in New Zealand really. So, and at 50 years old, I thought, who have they given me? What have they done to me? And why would they give me this? But anyway, well, I've got to be in it to win it, and I'm not doing this. I'm not coming all the way from Australia to not have a red hot go at it. And she was just fantastic to work with, and I catch up with her as many times as I can during the year. The next year I got Temapara George, the Silver Fern Centre, and for netball, and she was just beautiful, absolutely. And I remembered all the lifts and all the things and all the tricks that I'd done with Suzanne. And I rang home and I said, well, I won't be doing any of that, Mum. She's a real solid girl. I won't be doing it any time soon with this girl. Well, lo and behold, she lost 12 kilos because we trained so much, and we had different muscles. And then in 2009, I got Geraldine Brophy, and I couldn't have been happier with that choice. She was no athlete by any means, but just the most amazing person, and she was so strong of character, and she gave me so much, and I just gave it back.
You must inspire these women though, because I know Suzanne was dancing at one point, I think it was in the final, wasn't it, with a cracked rib. In fact, she actually broke it properly in the final. 2
broken ribs. I think we broke it in week 3 of the show. I picked her up and look, it got to a point where it was just very badly bruised and I couldn't touch her anymore. And because she was so small, well, sometimes if she didn't hold herself properly, I would pull her in a little bit more. And the pressure on that area, well, it's enough to obviously have caused damage. And then in the final, she was strapped up to the hilt, and we nearly didn't go back out for the final dance. And yep, she dosed herself up with more medication and more ice spray, and they jacked her up with all the stretching tape and all that sort of things, and it was incredible.
The things you have to do for your art, really.
I've performed with broken tailbone before. I've had a very good run, but I mean, I have performed on stage with, sore back or sprained ankles, or, but you do it. The show must go on.
Now, you've got this connection to New Zealand, and you had a civil union here as well. Your partner, Steve, and you had a civil union a couple of years ago now, yes, on Waiheke Island. Why New Zealand?
We have so many friends here in New Zealand because of my ties with Dancing with the Stars. Also, I was here with a show called Burn the Floor. I was here with yeah, so many other things. But especially those two shows, we got so close with so many people that we could not share our day, or we could not share our day with these people, and they're our family. So we had, I think, more than 50% of our wedding. It was a very small, intimate thing. It was only 85 or 100 people, sorry, but more than 60 people would have been from New Zealand, and the rest were a family from Australia or friends, and that's why.
Is it frustrating for you that where Australia is at? We now have marriage equality here in New Zealand. The fact that your relationship isn't recognised in a federal level in Australia, it must be frustrating.
It's frustrating, and yet it's something that we have just become used to, which in itself is a real shame. And just because we've gotten used to it doesn't make that it's okay, or doesn't mean that it's right. It's just that, you know, we've never had it before, and so, you know, all of a sudden we're getting closer to it. It does feel like, yeah, well, why shouldn't we? Why? I've never been one for, you know, rallying or getting behind it. I do believe in it, but now I think, well, surely Australia should be setting the way. If we set the way in so many other avenues of our lives, and dealings with, you know, just things that we pass and laws that we bring in, surely we could do that for marriage equality.
So what's the future for you? You're teaching, you have your own business, you're teaching.
I run Australia's largest ballroom dancing school now in Australia. It's called Dance Excess, and it's been 3 years now. We were 3 in March, and we haven't looked back. Since we opened, we spent a lot of money on its fit out, but it's been worth it. It's a real investment for my future and for our future. Steve and I, Stephen is in banking, but you know, he's very supportive of my dancing, and now that I'm competing again, we travel a lot, and that's why we're here in New Zealand this weekend. I teach so many students, and I train myself, and I get taught myself as well. And the business is going from strength to strength, and it's something that I've always wanted.
Have you taught him to dance? Is he?
Do you know, he knows how to dance, but he's not wanting to compete by any means, but he does help me in some of the social classes in the studio, and that's really nice. So a few of the adults, but it's a real family atmosphere that I've created. I grew up in a family studio, and I was treated like better than the son, and of, you know, better than their own son sometimes. And I always wanted to create that for my kids or students. And I feel like we've got a real great family in Australia. And I've even been teaching here in New Zealand today. And, you know, everybody responds to just fun and good time. And that's what I offer. And that's why I think more flies with honey than to try and be a strict taskmaster.
My final question, just what do you think it takes to have a happy or successful kind of life, fulfilled life?
To have a fulfilled life, in my opinion, would be to be true to yourself in regards to what you want, where you're going, what you want romantically, what you want, you know, physically, if it's attributes and whatnot, but or possessions. I think just being a good person makes you have a great life. If you, again, treat others as you wish to be treated. So I think if everyone could do that, it's a bit of common sense and a bit of humility, I think. It would be a great thing. Look, you know, world peace. What do I want? World peace. Just live as best you can all the time.
Stefano Olivieri, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you again very soon.